What's up, everybody? Matt Nuzzo hanging out here with no other than Josh Q. Josh, what are you doing here?
I'm checking out the Outer Banks. First time here in North Carolina, and I'm here with the foil drive crew, and we're just seeing the local break here. I don't know what this beach is called, but
it's just the beach. We're out here at the shipwreck. We're gonna go find a little burger wave out here. Go foil drive around. He's gonna teach me how to not be a kook on the foil drive, because I'm definitely a kook on the foil drive, no question.
No, we're just we're gonna run through like a few little tips and tricks of putting your gear together and kind of what gear to ride when you've got conditions that are pretty average to the normal eye, but pretty amazing for a foil drive session.
Yeah, and one of those things that I was just referring to is that when you're learning to foil drive, the more foiling experience that you have does not mean that you're going to hop on foil drive and go do it. Just like learning difference between learning a kite foil to wing foil to surf foil, all different techniques. And so Josh is going to give us a few pointers while he's rigging up and going over his gear. And you know, with foil drive, I found, hey, I can foil surf, but foil driving, I'm learning those new techniques, changing up my gear. I changed up, got a bigger, higher volume board, so I can, you know, get out there, get up easier, get started more like an e-foil than like prone paddling in on a different type of board. So this is Josh's rig here, and he's going to go through a few pointers.
So the first thing when you're setting up your foil drive setup is to make sure that you put these foam inserts that you get with the kit in the track pads. If you don't put these in, it ruins the Bluetooth connection to the controller, and you're just not going to have so much of an instant connection when you pull that trigger. So that's the first thing that we got to do.
And then mounting position, are you mounting it in the same spot? If you were to prone this board, would you mount it forward or backwards from where you did?
So we like to kind of set them a little bit further back than what you normally would. So if this is your normal prone board and your mast goes here, I would set it a 1/4 inch back, because the foil drive creates so much lift that if you have the mast in the same position, you're just going to be flying up out of the water. So it's always good to start kind of further back, and then over time maybe bring it forward like to where you like, but
nice.
Always start further back than further forward.
Yeah, that's something I got tripped up on a little bit, was like mast position. It just kind of, I put it really far forward, then it was too far forward, then went really far back, and again, I wasn't listening to my own advice. It's just small incremental changes when anytime you're changing in foil will make a big difference.
Yeah, you got to remember that like this is a propeller on your mast that's just literally giving you unlimited power. So there's no need to have your mast forward to get that front foot pressure anymore, because you can generate it by just pulling the trigger of the controller.
Nice. And this is what a well-used foil drive looks like. Ridden hard, put away wet. Don't try this at home. All right, tip 1 is making sure you set this up right without screwing up the damn plug, because that's something that's gonna break.
So maybe after your first session, what I've done here is just with a little pencil mark, I've marked where the unit goes compared to the mast track boxes. And another quick tip is to assemble the plug here before you actually connect your bolts through to the tracks. So I kind of just like to push this on. You got to remember that the battery grease that's given in the kit, that is so all this stuff doesn't corrode. So just a little squirt of this just in the thing here, that's going to keep everything well lubricated, and the things aren't going to corrode and cause any trouble. So once that's in, kind of plug this into the unit, grab your little screws.
They will disappear if you drop them in the beach.
And what's nice is, because it's not connected to the board yet, you can get your driver in straight.
Right.
This is something that's quite tricky once you've bolted everything together. So we like to kind of just do this first. This is just so you don't cross thread your bolts, and kind of just do them all at an even pressure before really tightening them up, just so it doesn't go in, you know, sideways.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that are cross-threading these, or they're bolting this down, the mast down first, and then you can't swing this side to side.
Yeah, so like now we can swing it
sideways and get that other one in there. So this piece right here is the business end of the foil drive, so you have to pay extra attention to this so it doesn't break, this thing doesn't swing off and crack or any sort of stuff like that. So really pay attention to putting this in accurately, cleanly, and not cross-threaded.
Yeah. Like this is probably a perfect example. Like we're down the beach, and you know, if you got sand blowing and that's going into all your connection points, it's a bad place to set up. So you're kind of best to do it maybe before you get to the beach. Do it in your living room at home, nice clean environment. You know, if you drop a bolt, you're not going to drop it into the sand. Yeah, these are just little things that you got to think of before you get to a spot. But like what we're doing, we're still doing it at the beach. It's still very doable.
Perfect. All you need is a real truck at the beach to put up this nice tray on the back, and then you're set, ready to go. Just when you buy a foil drive,
Get a real truck.
put the real truck as an accessory before you add the cart. All right, so now it's time to get into the business end of this thing, motor and the cable length. So it looks like you got the pro level set up down there. What's going on?
Yeah, so we've got the 15 centimeter cord length here. I enjoy this now because I've got a little bit experience with the foil drive, but what I started off on and what I recommend a lot of people to start off on is the 20 centimeter length. It's a good length for surf foil driving, doing upwind, downwind foil driving, and just kind of all aspects of it. So 20 centimeter is a safe bet, but if you think that you're super experienced foiler and you're a pro level dude, I could definitely recommend a 15 centimeter to you.
All the pro bros out there going 15, and the reason that having this farther up is going to basically make it easier just because you're keeping power for longer.
Correct, correct. But then it does work against you if you've got it too far up, because when you start wanting to turn and rip on this thing like a normal foil, this thing does pop in and out of the water and cause a disturbance. So that's the reason why kind of the better you get, the smaller that you're going, closer to the board. And it just turns into like a mast height management, and that's a skill that is just required in foil driving. So yeah,
another foil drive technical skill, mast height management. It is critical, and again, part of the learning curve has been challenging for me. Is getting, you know, being in the powered, out of powered, in powered, out of powered, like getting that transition. That's really what I've been working on as I'm learning to foil drive.
Yeah, it's a super important tip, and like it actually crosses over to all other aspects of foiling, where, you know, if you want to ride super high on your mast, that's the most efficient part to be at. And you just, by knowing where you are compared to this pod, it's a crucial skill. Nice. And what we've got here too with water efficiencies, we've got electrical tape running around the back of this cable. A lot of people I've seen don't do this because maybe they can't see the point of it, but this is a huge important factor to create water efficiency running around the mast. And the owner, Paul, recommends that if you don't do this, you could be losing up to 30% efficiency of your foil and just burning unnecessary battery.
Dang.
So I would highly recommend doing this and doing a good job of it. Just take your time, make it all nice and pretty behind here, and you're going to get the best runtime out of your battery.
All right, man. What's next? Talk to me about the
after you've set after you've set your pod up, you've got this attached to your board, you've got the cable plugged in, you then have the propeller, and that is kept in this koozie holder, and it's done for a reason, because these things are really sharp. These are made out of metal, and you know, this is what creates all the drive from the unit. So let's just keep them within the koozie, and when you attach it on, just kind of work it way on slowly. Don't just like throw it on, because it will slide in, and it's just being precious with your gear. There's no point just kind of wrecking it for no reason. So don't take this koozie holder off until you're getting into the water. They're sharp blades, and we don't want anyone getting
Simple
injured.
safety thing, and then when you're storing it, this comes off just to let everything, like once you rinse it out, let everything dry out too.
Yeah, that's actually another huge tip. When you're finished, if you are lazy with your gear and you're not going to wash anything, at least take this off and wash this and that.
Right.
That's like the main thing, because these things can get rusty, they can seize up. And just letting this dry out, and just giving a quick spray of some lubricant every now and then, that's going to make your foil drive kit go a lot longer. Cool.
Add a foil, add a battery, let's go foil drive. The really important thing is what is going on with the batteries.
Okay, so we got two batteries. We got the power battery, which is the big boy, and then the sport battery, which is the smaller battery for the max unit. This is what a lot of people are enjoying, because they just want maximum runtime. Yeah. This is definitely a little bit more heavier than the sport. I enjoy the sport because I can get pretty much an hour out of this, and that's all I need foiling. Right. I'm exhausted after that. Yeah, it's kind of just like depending on what you want to do. Like a lot of people who maybe aren't as good at the foil drive yet are loving the power, because they're maybe a bit more heavy on the throttle. Yeah. So they're just burning more energy.
It's like what I'm doing, just keeping the thing pegged the whole time, trying to get out, getting out. Yeah. You'll see. You'll see.
But yeah, I'm going with the sport today just because I like it. It's a bit more performance, less weight, less swing weight on the board, and yeah, just take that little cap off and throw her in, and she's ready to go.
And then this is definitely important to get right.
There we go.
Sealed.
Now she's
click,
ready.
click.
Yeah.
Ready to rock. Okay, and then final piece is the foil. What are you doing for foils? Anything you can say about what size foil?
I would always size up a foil. So if you're looking at this with your normal foil eyes and you're like, okay, I'm gonna run the 980 today, I would just, instead of running the 980, which probably still be fine, I would go the 1130, the size up, because you've just got a little bit more extra weight on the board, and the board's probably going to want to sink a little bit out of the air. So just put on a little bit extra foil, and yeah, that's what I'm going to be riding today, the Code 1130. So
awesome. Okay, go up on foil, check. Time to get suited up and get out there. Right on. Want more reviews, want more information about foil drive, give us a call at the shop, 252-987-6000. Josh, thank you for the trip, the tips and tricks. And
we'll see if they work out there.
Yeah, we'll see if they work. Want more info, realwatersports.com. See you guys on the water for the next session.